Hey everyone, Anthony Scott here at ToyHypeUSA.com. Today I am taking an advanced look at review of Mattel's upcoming Turtles of Grayskull Skele-Shredder figure, which is their San Diego Comic-Con 2025 exclusive. Special shout out and thank you to Mattel and the Masters of the Universe brand team for sending him along for review. It's greatly appreciated. He will be available on Mattel Creations on Thursday, July 24th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and sold at San Diego Comic-Con at the Mattel booth. That is booth number 2945 for $45 USD. Skele-Shredder comes in a brown mailer box here, and on this side you see shaded images of him, his accessories, as well as his throne accessory. So I'm going to be opening this up and we're going to be taking a closer look at it. But on all the sides, you have the Mattel Creations logo. Here's a look there. And there is a look at the back. Included is a brand new mini comic called Havoc is Afoot, as well as a sheet of instructions showing which body parts are interchangeable with other Origin style figures. Here is a look at the back of both. On the mini comic, you have the Masters of the Universe and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo, and the sheet of instructions, you have a look at the throne. Here is a closer look at the new mini comic, which features beautifully done artwork as always. Skele-Shredder is a fusion between Skeletor and Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Here's a closer look at that beautiful artwork. They really went all out with this. And that is the last page. Here is a closer look at the packaging, which is a horizontal box with a slide out blister. The artwork on this is just fantastic. It has Skele-Shredder's helmet there, and you have some mutagen right on pretty much all the sides. Going out the window here. On the back, you have that nicely done crest. Turn this around so you guys can really see all the artwork here. On the top, you have the Turtles of Grayskull logo with more mutagen artwork. And on the bottom, you have a special thanks to the team and some additional details that you guys can read about right here. For San Diego Comic-Con, this is definitely beautifully done packaging, and this part lifts up. That part lifts down, and here is your look at Skele-Shredder right there with all of his accessories, his interchangeable head sculpts that you guys can see here, and he's inside his throne. The other head is right there on the side. He's got his staff there on the side as well. Let's take a closer look. There he is inside the box, and I want to show you guys every possible angle on here. If you want to see what he looks like with the open windows. Here is a closer look at that. This part here, you can also see the back of the throne. Here is a closer look at the floor that pops down. The packaging also stays up by itself pretty well, but if you touch it, it probably will fall down, so just make note of that. I do believe to open this, it opens from the bottom, so I'm going to do that now off camera just to verify, because if I try to take it off from the top, I just don't think it's going to work out too well. So I'm pretty sure it's taken out from the bottom. I'm going to do that now, and let's take a closer look. I just removed Skele-Shredder from the packaging, but I do want to correct myself. From the bottom, that is not the correct way to open it. I've been playing around with it for a few minutes, and what you're going to do is you're going to lift this up on the top. There are a couple of flaps on the packaging here. You just want to move the packaging away from the box, and that is how you lift it up. Here is your in-hand look at Skele-Shredder, as he is this year's San Diego Comic-Con 2025 exclusive from Mattel. He is a combination of Shredder and Skeletor from the Turtles of Grayskull line, and this is definitely a beautiful looking figure. What you see here is a mix of Shredder's armor and Skeletor's skeletal structure, which is definitely a nice touch of both. Each one of his interchangeable head marks a different phase of the ooze mutation, one for Shredder, one for Skeletor, and one for the fully fused Skele-Shredder figure. There is also a bonus head sculpt, which is right on the top of the throne, right at the top of the spine here, and that can be placed on the figure. I'm going to demonstrate that in this review as well. The throne has two banners, which you see on the side. The one on the left here is for the Foot Clan, and the one on the right marks Skeletor. The banners are made of a soft plastic, and it almost looks like fabric, but it's not. It's also a little bit sticky right here on the bottom because they used a piece of tape to connect it to the plastic tray. I kind of wish they didn't do that, but that's just how they did it. You can't really see the residue, but just note that it's there. Here is a look at all sides of the throne. His feet can be connected to the two pegs that are right below them to better seat him on the throne, which is good. Here is a look at the back of the throne. Just note that I believe all of these blades are removable and you can use it for his final form. I'm going to be demonstrating that in this review as well. And I was just able to confirm that all 6 of these blades can be removed. By the final form, I mean the 4th form that's used with this helmet here. Here is a look at the throne with Skele-Shredder removed. You can see all the sculpted details that's been put into this throne, including the stone base with the 2 pegs that his feet were on that I mentioned. There is a closer look at that. You'll also notice that the sculpted details on the seat there. The rest for his back, there's a lot of great sculpted details as well. The armrests are made of bones, and you see all of that great attention to detail as well. Here is a look at the back. Here is Skele-Shredder in his first phase, I guess you can say. He is mostly gray with given a metallic gray armor here, gray arms, black, purple, neon green, metallic silver. This really nice bone beige color, which is very nicely done. And also a little bit of red that you see on his chest as well as his eyes. Those are his primary colors. Here is a look at all sides. The cape is made of fabric, and here is a closer look at that. Here I lifted him up so you guys can see the back. More bone details on the back of the harness. Skele-Shredder also comes with a really cool looking belt buckle, and here is a closer look at that. Metallic silver deco with black eyes. I think they did a really nice job sculpting and painting that. This particular head sculpt is pretty neat as well. He has a mouth, he has eyes. I think they did a really nice job on it. The hood is loose fitting around the head, so you're going to want to pop off together and swap out the heads. That's how you basically do that. The claws are also removable, which is good. This is the beige skull color with a metallic silver blades. His articulation is also standard for the Origin style, basically the line of figures that they've been offering since 2020. And this includes a ball jointed head, ball hinged shoulders, swivel hinged elbows, swivel hinged wrists, good range of motion, swivel waist, ball jointed hips, swivel hinged knees, swivel boots, hinged and rocker ankles. So again, it's standard for the line. Here is another pose with the claws. The hood and cape are all one piece, and here I went ahead and removed it. So here's a look at the back. And here's a look at the front with the hood and cape removed. Here is a look at Skele-Shredder's bone and steel ram staff, which he can hold in both hands, or one if you prefer. The blade is metallic silver, and there's also metallic silver on the handle. The rest of the handle is purple, and the ram skull is neon green. Here is another pose. The next head sculpt, I'm going to call this his Super Shredder head, which has the red attachment right there on the forehead, glaring red eyes, which makes him look much more menacing compared to the other head. Here is a closer look at that head. You see a little bit of the mouthpiece right here on the bottom. And bring this in even closer, you see those glaring red eyes, which definitely looks awesome. He can also hold the flag, and here's a look at him holding the foot flag. Up next is the Skeletor head, and you can clearly see it's him given the skull, which is very nicely done. It's sculpted with an open mouth. There's no hinged jaw that permanently stays open. He also has glaring red eyes, which are pretty cool, and a neon green piece right there on the forehead. Here is a closer look at that head. Here is a closer look at the horn skull, which is neon green. Here is another pose. This time you can get a better look at the blade. Here is a look at him holding his flag. The final head is this metallic gold helmet, which sits on the samurai throne right there on top. And I went ahead and put the blades in his hands and on the back as well. Here is a closer look at this head sculpt. It also has glaring red eyes, which are nicely done, but it's mostly metallic silver and a little bit of black shading as well. Here is a look at the back. Here is a look at Skele-Shredder with his Skeletor homage head on the samurai throne. When I originally reviewed this throne earlier on in the video, I had not realized that the interchangeable head sculpts, two of them, can be placed on the ball joints. So that is what those are for. Note that these are both of Shredder's heads. Here is a closer look there. And now my favorite part of any review is comparing with what's come before. Here is a comparison with Turtles of Grayskull Shredder. Here is a comparison with Krang. Here's a comparison with Bebop and Rocksteady. Here is a comparison with Raphael. Here is a comparison with He-Man. And finally, here is a comparison with Beastman. Overall, Skele-Shredder is a fantastic figure I think fans are going to love. There's definitely so many options to pose and display this figure. He is one of my favorite Turtles of Grayskull figures ever offered, so I highly recommend you guys pick him up. Once again, he is this year's San Diego Comic-Con 2025 exclusive and will be sold at the Mattel booth at the show, booth number 2945, and sold online on Mattel Creations on Thursday, July 24th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you again to Mattel for sending him along for a review. It's greatly appreciated. My recommendation would be to pick him up. I am Anthony Scott. Thanks again for watching this video, and stay tuned for more news and reviews.